Well, hello. We're back again. Number nine here. Number nine, the famous Beatles song, number nine, number nine, number nine. Before we go much further, I just again want to put a shout out to Elijah. He's been wonderful in setting us up, helping us old guys figure out this technology that we are not familiar with very much. But we appreciate everything Elijah does, and I just wanted to thank him publicly and let people know that he's for him. It's the reason it's happening. So,
Ditto.
like I said, the last one we talking about the carousel of coaches, and I had a thought about something. So I did find I was looking for something to kind of initiate it, and it
Mhm.
had to do with this quote: "Out with the old, in with the new." And the phrase "out with the old and in with the new" literally means to move forward. The phrase suggests that in order to move forward, one must purge, remove, or let go of one thing with the expectation of gaining something else. And so, I was talking today with my son and my son's father-in-law about this, all these coaches and I believe that really I think the way to go is these new young kind of more innovative, if you will, or maybe relate to the players more. But I just think that these old coaches, it's time for some of them to move on. So I kind of want to know what your thought is on that.
Well, okay. Think about where these coaches are coming from. Okay, McVay, the guy from San Francisco, a guy from the Packers. They all grew up. They were box. What were they? What were they? Ball boys, and the dads were the coaches or what administrators. That's where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the new generation. Okay, then you have the guys that have played football going to coaching. Okay, then you have the old guard that have been around forever, and what happens to them? They just recycle.
Yeah,
Oh, you got what I'm saying?
that's a good way of explaining it. Yeah.
Okay, just okay. Let's identify one team, the Chargers, when they got the new guy. Okay, the guy that was playing the quarterback at that team was the one that played quarterback with the Giants this year, and he got hurt on the first game. He injured
Mm-hmm.
himself, and he was gone. And they didn't do that well, and so they let that coach go. Okay, they were like 500 or something like that. They let that coach go, and that coach is playing tomorrow. He's the one that got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got what I'm saying? And
Right.
he's doing okay. And then they
Mm-hmm.
brought in the analytical guy
Mm-hmm.
and who go fourth and one in his own his own territory. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a very good quarterback. Okay, but he can never get past 500, and they couldn't make the playoffs. And he was saying, "Well, I need one more year." Well, the other guy that coached that team didn't get 4 years. He only got one or 2 years. He was gone. And you have to be at the right spot at the right time and have the right people behind you. Okay. Look at Andy Reid. How long did Andy Reid coach at Philadelphia?
Oh God, he was there a good 10 years, right?
Okay. Okay. And then he went from Philadelphia to Kansas City. And he's been at Kansas City how long?
8 years,
It's been 8 years.
but probably close, I would imagine. Yeah.
Okay, and he's gone to 3 Super Bowls.
Hmm.
Okay, it's a matter of what's the philosophy of the owner and
Yeah.
what does the owner want.
That's what you said last time too about the it had to do with the owners. Um,
Okay, what is it that the owners want? Okay, look at the Dallas Cowboys. When's the last time they won the Super Bowl?
95. So 28
'95.
years,
And
almost 29, almost 30 years ago. Let's just
who
say
was the
30.
coach that when they won the Super Bowl?
Well, the last one was Barry Switzer, but
Barry
Jim
Switzer.
Johnson was the two years, and then
Okay, but
Johnson was let
Jim
go.
Johnson for 2 years, and then him and the owner got into a tiff, but he still had enough in the bank to go on to the
Right,
football. You
right,
got what I'm
right.
saying?
Uh-huh,
But
uh-huh.
then after that, what have they done? They've been
Not
mediocre.
mediocre at best. Yeah.
Okay, of 30 years,
Hmm.
they barely make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Okay,
And they've only won a handful of
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
playoff games since then, just a few.
It's just like if we were in the classroom and if we had an iron hand in the classroom, how many students do you think we would have had in the classroom?
Well, we our success was certainly not based on that. It was the exact opposite because we built this relationship. It wasn't about us or the highway because, like you said, they would have chosen the highway.
Right, right. Because
They wouldn't have
those
known any better or any difference in that regard.
those are the kind of experiences they were having with regular ed at the high schools that they were at. Nobody listened to what they were saying.
Hmm.
Okay, now think about these owners. They have so many people in their ear about who they should get and what they should get, and football is a collegiate kind of experience. You're playing for each other, and you giving your best effort for each other, and nobody's slacking. Okay, everybody's going full forward. Okay. Now, if you find out you start slacking, guess what happens? You don't win, and you can't go forward.
Hmm.
You got what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah. So let's talk about the players then, and the kinds of players that are coming into the NFL. Most of them by by a large margin from college. So are the players different today?
Well,
And
I
if
think I think they
so,
are in all the sports because you have the travel teams. You got what I'm saying? You got all the travel teams and then the competition. They start competing at 13, 14 years old for a spot. For high school, or some of these kids don't even play ball until high school.
right, that's become a phenomenon. Yes,
You play on the travel team.
right.
Okay.
Better chances, better opportunities on the travel team than maybe their local high school. Is
Well,
what you're
because
saying.
they're playing against the best of the best all the way around.
Right.
Okay. Um, I know when I was coaching at El Medina, the guy that's the manager of the Yankees was in high school at Villa Park, and he was a good ball player. He was a real good ball player. Um, it's just changed because it started back in 79, 79, 80. And I know in Yorba Linda, it started because they were freezing a lot of the kids out of the All Stars. You got what I'm talking about?
Right. Right.
So I remember this dad. He started in Placentia. He started a travel team, and had his guys. They're playing all over the place. You got and with baseball. the more you play, the better you become. Okay, and now football, I would stay junior All American or Pop Warner or whatever. You can do that. A lot of guys go Pop Warner, and Pop Warner you go all over. You go all over. A junior All American, you go local. You just go local. But Pop Warner, you can set up a game from Anaheim to Ohio or wherever. You know what I'm saying? But then in basketball, it's really gone crazy. Those guys are playing AAU and all those other Nike stuff, and they're playing 3 or 4 different experiences, and they're getting exposed to the sport. But do they really understand what's happening? You get what I'm saying? Because
Well, what is happening? What do you mean?
well, like my godson, he got drafted in the just before his mother passed away. He got drafted with the Detroit Pistons, but he was only 18 years old, and he's playing. He's up there playing with grown men. You got what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't. He went one and done, and he wasn't quite ready. You got what I'm saying? I
So the
mean,
Kobe Bryants and the LeBron Jameses are
they were
an
exceptional.
anomaly. They're an
Well,
anomaly.
they had good old mental framework in their minds, but they had an attitude. Okay, LeBron James was a physical specimen.
Right.
Okay, he had a man's body
Right.
at 18 years old.
Right.
Okay, Kobe Bryant had mental acuity
Mm-hmm.
of a young man when he got started. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he had skills mentally and physically,
Mm-hmm.
and he was not, here he grew up in Italy, so he spoke Italian, so he had been exposed to some things in the world. Okay, he wasn't traveling around from around all over the different venues playing basketball at that level. Okay, but guys are not going to college to get an education. You got what I'm saying? They're going to college to make themselves ready for the NBA. Okay, but what happens if you don't make it to the NBA?
So that kind of leads me into the thought of this whole kind of phenomenon of the transfer portal and
Yeah.
players, moving around from one school to the other, having that opportunity. How is that playing into the psychology and mentality of some of these players that are entering from there, entering into professional sports? And what kind of player is emerging in this new era, if you will.
Well, if you don't get it, if I'm not playing enough, then I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
You remember back in the day, if you got on the field, you better make sure you do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't do your job, you didn't get back on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but these guys,
That's what I remember. But yeah.
yeah, I remember. Hey, I was third string fullback. Okay, and my job was third and one, third and two, bim bam boo. There I was. Okay,
Right.
but the guys, and I think it's getting back a little bit to the old days where guys are going to school for a degree. Okay, because everybody's not.
Like in your case.
Yeah, everybody can't go. Everybody can't go to the NBA. When I graduated from college, I was 27 years old, and everybody said, "Well, you're going to try for the NBA? I mean, NFL." I said, I'm not that guy. I got a
What
degree.
made you realize what again? What made you realize that, or why did you feel that way? How did you see it that that was the situation?
I was at Cal Poly Pomona. I'm on a partial scholarship, grant and aid. I'm starting fullback 2 years in a row. I didn't make all league. Okay, I didn't gain 900,000, 1,500 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You got what I'm saying? I was there to I was there to graduate, get an education, and I was 27 years old and a wife and a kid.
Mm.
Where was I gonna go? Who was who's gonna give me a tryout? I ran I don't know if I don't know what kind of 40 I run. I might have run a 5.140.
Right.
But you have to, every individual has to speak truth to themselves.
Speak truth to themselves. There you go.
Okay?
There you go.
Okay. If I was single, I might have given a turn, but I was married with a kid. You know, she bought on for graduating from college, and that's what I did. Okay. And I didn't even start coaching. You know, I didn't even get into the coaching thing because I had to go to work. I had a wife and a kid. I had to go
Mm.
to work. I couldn't be selfish and go and coaching at the high school and not get paid. You know that kind of deal.
Hmm.
Because back then, how much were they paying if you were a walk on? How much did they pay you? $150 a season or something like that.
Yeah, right, right, right.
Oh man.
Well, you said something that that made me think about the truth, and you said you got to be honest with yourself.
Oh yeah.
You got to look in the mirror and say, well, like you said, I run a 5.140. I was not all league, and you just got to be honest with yourself, and that's the truth. And that's why when you search for the truth, but you start with yourself. And if you can't be honest with yourself, the truth is gonna evade you, or in your
Yeah,
true
the
sense,
truth,
it might
the,
find you.
the
The truth
truth
might
will
catch up
evade
with
you, and then when you turn around and when it hit you in the face, it may be
you.
at the wrong time. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It has to hit you in the face, and I think
Yeah.
that's what life teaches you, you know, and that's what you have to sort of come to terms with, and begin to
Things
understand
that
and
my father
try
did
to
with
come up with.
one of the things my father did with, in sports, he allowed me to play a variety of sports, and he all he ever said was, "Once you start, you finish."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I didn't run track. Okay, I didn't run track. That's the only thing I didn't do. My father was a football, basketball, and baseball player, and he ran track.
You ran
Okay,
track.
and track is what he made his mark in. But he was a heck of a baseball player. He played one season in the old Negro League, and the Rams wanted him to try out for football. But he had a family. So back in them days. But my father never pushed me in athletics. He gave me footballs, he gave me tennis baseballs, and he gave me a basketball, and so I went out and did that. And my sports training came from the boys club. I didn't play my first football game, organized football game, until I was a junior in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I played my junior senior year, and then 1 year at City College, 1 year in baseball at City College, and then from then on, I went to Tuskegee, and I didn't play anything there, but I was going to go back. I was going to go back, but I enlisted in the Marine Corps because it was getting close to. I didn't see any reason to go there and then get drafted. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you mentioned your dad was at San Jose State when
Right,
he got drafted or to go
right,
into to serve in World War One. I mean, two. I'm sorry, two.
yeah.
Um, but what about what about a deferment? I mean, if you were in school, what was that
And
available or
back in them days, when your number came up,
yeah?
I was in school for 2 years, and I had the deferment. Okay, but at the time that it was going around, I was getting close. So I said, I made a decision. Might as well enlist before they drafted me. You got what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because you could be in the middle of something, in the middle of everything, and they could draft you, and you got to go.
So when you enlist, do you get a opportunity to more likely choose where you want to go versus if you get drafted, you're just definitely going into the
But
infantry.
if you get drafted, you definitely go in the infantry.
But did you get to choose you because you were
Or
flew
they
you were
chose. It was really funny. My drill instructors, they were really funny. They, oh man, at boot camp, they called me Magilla Gorilla, and thank God that I had gone through uh, 2 days football. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And I was 20 years old. I
yeah,
wasn't a young kid, and
yeah.
so all I said was yes sir, and whatever. And so they they tried me at the guide on. I ended up I was squad leader. So squad leaders get automatic promotion to PFC. But when the day we got through with we graduated from boot camp and they gave us our MOSs, right? My MOS was 3371. So I'm running around here. What is a 3371? Oh, and it said, "Are you gonna be a cook? You educated monkey?"
That's what they said. Oh yeah, okay.
I said, I said yes, and I said to myself, thank God, God was watching out for me. I wasn't a machine gunner. I wasn't an infantryman. Those guys had once you hit land, you got 14 seconds of life.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Okay, and I'm thinking, you you thought you do me, you did me a you made me a cook, so I'm behind the lines when we go to Vietnam. Only thing we have to do is go on ambush patrols, okay? But I'm thinking how people think. Oh, they said, well, you think you're smart because you're going to college for 2 years. Then they put me in the office poke. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They didn't make me an office poke. So we're gonna punish you. We're gonna
Is
make
that
you.
what they thought? They were punishing you?
No, no, that's what that was their comments.
Hmm.
You think you're smart because you went to college for 2 years. Gonna make you a cook. And I said, thank you. I said, thank you.
Right. Hey, it made me think about something when you were talking too about
Mhm.
how we make our way, we our choices kind of carry us to where we need to go or whatever. But how much does play into it? Because you think about things in your life where
You
fate
have to
seems to work.
you have to have faith in God.
No, not faith, fate, the fate of
Oh,
life, like fate. Faith, of course. I got you on that. But
this is what I got baptized when I was 13, and I used to play sing in the youth choir and stuff like that. But I had faith in myself as well as faith in God,
hmm
and I made try to make the right decisions and try to stay in my lane as much as I could.
hmm
Okay, not try to bully nobody and that kind of thing. You try to be a good citizen.
right,
Okay,
right.
because I don't think that I would have been able to make it through my experience after coming out of the Marine Corps and landing in Orange County and not knowing a soul if I was not a good human being. If people didn't perceive me as someone who was worthy, okay? So you guys were on the football team was telling me where I could go get jobs. And once I started, my first job was I was a busboy dishwasher for the Manny's restaurants, which were just like what's it called? It was similar to the one we eat at now. What's it called? Denny's. Okay, but it was called Manny's back
Hmm.
then.
Hmm.
And then I worked my way over at Box Boy at Horner Plaza with the then at Ralph's. I was a box boy at Ralph's, and then I went to work at Swedlow, which was a midnight. It was a place where they airplane optics, the airplane canopies. We would make those. We would stretch them, and they would mold them and polish them up to go in the airplane canopies. That place was called Swedlow. So I go to work at 10 o'clock and get off at 7 o'clock and go to class at 8 o'clock. So that was a full-time job. You see what I'm saying? I worked a graveyard shift. So then I go to school. I go straight to school. From there, go to the library, take a nap, go to football practice, or go to baseball practice. But that's what I did.
Busy, a lot, like you said, a lot
Once
going
I stayed
on.
out of trouble, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one made me
Yeah,
think. Yeah,
but I needed an AA degree to take advantage of the scholarship offer they got from Cal Poly.
right,
So I was done.
right, right. Well, we're about again ready to wrap up here, but what are you thinking? What's your closing thoughts right now on where what we've talked about? We've covered a lot of things
Well,
today.
really,
Or
Larry, I think search for the truth is a monumental task on each and every individual, and I think we have to be cognizant of our experiences in life, and but you have to recognize when truth is coming to you, and what do you do with the truth when he does hit you,
when it does find you.
when he does find you.
And again, I think you know one of the issues we're facing in today's world is that there are many, so many that have felt like they have found the truth, and the truth is to them sort of locked in place, and they don't really open their minds and their hearts to maybe alternatives to that truth, and they're not questioning it, they're not seeking it, they've already felt like they found it. And
Well,
that's the people that you have to doubt. You have to doubt those that say they have found the truth and hold
what,
on to it.
what I'm gonna close with is it truth or power?
uh,
A lot of people's truth is they want power so they can tell people what to do.
and their truth is their power as they see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that kind of leaves us on a good place to jump off to our next one. And so
Okay,
until
Larry.
then, it's been a pleasure to be with you, talk with you.
Same here,
And
Larry.
it's great. And again, thank you, Elijah, for all you do,
Thank
because
you,
without
Elijah.
you, we wouldn't be here.
All
Take
right.
care. Have a
Yeah.
great time. Stay safe.